is the Chrissie Swan Show.
And I'm a little bit rattled today.
You are. Now, I just want to start off by saying we have spoken a little bit about this off air. I did bad news laugh when you started telling me, and I don't mean it in a nasty way if I do.
No. And I understand that because I coined the phrase bad news
You did.
laugh. The bad news laugh, in case you're wondering what we're talking about. I thought it was unique to me, but it's not. But it isn't very popular. Not many people react this way. You know when someone tells you some really bad news and you realise that you're going to laugh. And what I do is instead of just laughing in the face of their tragedy, I call it something. I say, oh, my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've done a bad news laugh.
I think it's one of the greatest things you've taught me, though, because it immediately eliminates any malice when someone's telling you something sad.
It's true.
You know?
You need to acknowledge it
You
because
do.
imagine if you didn't. Imagine if what had happened just now and I came into work and I said, Jack, I'm really sad about Chicago.
Now, for those that don't know who Chicago is, it is Chrissie Swan and her daughter Peg's beloved rabbit.
So I thought it would be a great idea for the kids on Christmas Day to get two beautiful mini lot bunnies. And I didn't care too much about them. They're cute, whatever. I have fallen deeply in love with these rabbits. They are magical with their floppy ears and their little fat heads. And I take photos of Gingy. There's two sisters, Chicago and Gingy. I take photos of Gingy's feet and bottom every day.
Creepy.
Jack, it's the cutest thing ever. Anyway, there's a disaster this morning because we have, where they sleep in the, protective hutch. And then we have what we call the day spa.
Bougie rabbits.
We have what we call the day spa, which is just like a black iron pen.
Yeah.
And then we put, fresh fruit and veg in there and a little running tunnel and
So,
it's
like,
out on the grass. It's wild.
Whilst you guys are at work and school, they're not like caged up. They're running through the day spa, enjoying
They're running
their day.
through the day spa, but only when the weather's good. We
Okay.
wouldn't put them out there in the sleet. Oh, my God. Anyway, Peg, before school, puts Chicago, the cutest little black rabbit with like a mink scarf on.
With a beautiful name too.
She puts Chicago, it's her rabbit, puts Chicago in the day spa, comes back, has a chat to me, we gas bag, whatever, shoot the rubbish. And then she's like, oh, I've got to put Gingy in there. She gets Gingy from the hutch. She's carrying Gingy towards the day spa and she can't see, we call her Caggie. She can't see Chicago. She's like, where's Caggie?
Caggie's dead.
No, she's not dead. Jack.
Sorry. Peg's still in the classroom.
But she
won't
might
hear me.
not be. It's just our luck.
You've got tears in your eyes. Sorry.
Anyway.
Okay, so Chicago's missing.
Where's Caggie? Anyway, she had latched it closed after she'd put Chicago in there, but it didn't
Latch.
attach. Yeah, she didn't just walk away. She did it and it didn't work.
So she's going to
Anyway,
live with guilt for the rest of her life that she has killed her rabbit.
No, she hasn't.
Sorry. No, she hasn't, because we could still find Chicago.
No body, no crime, as my saviour and queen says.
All right. So where
So
are we at?
I had to keep it upbeat because it was right before school drop off. And she's like, what? Where is she? She's only little. She's never been out. What? And I said, no, she's fine.
Liar.
Bunnies do that. She's probably hiding. She's playing with you. Inside, I am tearing my heart out. Anyway, get her off to school. I get home. I am I'm in a proper outfit. I wore something nice for you.
I know. Now you look like you've been on Burke's backyard.
I have been on Burke's backyard. I got Gingy out of the hutch and put her in the pen as a lure
Yeah, to try and
get
find
Chicago to come out. I poked every inch. It was like playing Kaplunk, I poked every inch of the garden
No sign
with
of
the end of
Caggie.
a rake, nothing. And I want to know, 13, 24, 10, these are our first rabbits. We love them so. Do they hide? Where did you find your rabbit? What is she doing? Is she watching me now?
The Chrissie Swan Show.
And that's what I said when I realised Chicago the rabbit had escaped. Oh.
She's in hiding maybe like Beyonce as well.
I'm so worried.
I know, because it's going to be... I mean, there's obviously the sad part about potentially losing a rabbit, but I appreciate for you as a mother, you're going to be dealing with a very traumatized child who's probably going to need a lot of therapy over the coming years, given that she didn't latch it properly.
I know that you're trying to be a real smartass, but you are spot on. And because Peg and I are so like cosmically connected.
You are.
Her mood is my mood. And frankly, I'm scared of her. I'm scared of her today. I'm scared of her. I want to go into witness protection and never see her again, because when she's sad, it makes me so sad. It hurts me on the inside.
It's like a voodoo doll.
I want to talk to a psychic, by the way. 13 24 10. Where is Chicago? Please tell me where this bunny has gone to.
If you are a legit psychic, call through. But first, we're asking on 13 24 10, where did you find your rabbit? Where should Chrissie be looking?
Yeah, because I'm a new rabbit mom.
Rabbit mom.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello, how are you?
You've got a bunny?
I had 2 bunnies actually, but both of them ended up running away and I didn't end up catching them again.
Okay, well, that's not a great outcome. Are they like normal bunnies, or are they bougie bunnies like the ones I've got? Ours are like a French.
Mine are like, they're not bougie, but they aren't living like Povo either, you know? Like,
I've had a Povo bunny. My God, he grew to be the size of a greyhound with the attitude of a talkback radio host.
Really?
They are rough.
Priceline Pharmacy voucher for you, Sarah. Also, Sarah's just reminded me of something. She said her bunnies ran away. You've had a cat run away. So maybe Chicago wasn't loving the living conditions and ran.
Oh, no. She's so beloved.
All right, let's go to Teresa Swanee.
I buy corn for human consumption to give to Chicago because it's her favourite. In fact, that's where I was before this show started.
What, buying corn?
Buying corn and putting it out on the yard so that she can... Look, I confess, do you know what I did? This is what I did.
What?
I'm going to say it. I got the corn.
Yeah.
And I ran it along the side of the shrubs.
Oh, I wish we had CCTV of you looking that unhinged.
Just in case.
That's
she
amazing.
was looking and she went, oh,
Mummy's got some corn.
Yes. Teresa, where is this bunny? Where was yours?
Okay, we found our rabbit. She had found the only patch of dirt in our entire yard and dug herself between the 2 colour-bond fences. And because the little thing was little and she's got a big booty, as you know, with rabbits do, she got herself in, but she couldn't get herself out. So when my husband comes to tell me that he's found the rabbit with this look on his face, I thought, oh, he's found a dead rabbit somewhere. And no, he found her alive. In the meantime, my daughter, I do apologise to tell you this, was so traumatised by the loss of the rabbit that I had bought a new rabbit in the 24 hours the rabbit had gone missing.
Teresa,
to try and ease the blow.
I said I want to get... I've already been in touch with the breeder and I didn't want to say I need a new rabbit. Have you got one that's about a year old and black that I could lie to my daughter about? But it's too soon.
No, well, mine was, with all honesty, I went to tell her I let her out to have her freedom because we can't keep her pen caught up in the pen. And I felt so guilty that I let this rabbit out, you know, to give it a good life and let it have a run around the yard. And she said, no. She said, we are not leaving the shop. So I took her to the shop, let her buy any toy she wanted. And I thought, now's the time to tell her. I'll tell her. And I told her, and she refused to leave the shop until we found a new rabbit. So we had got a new rabbit, and I'm telling you, it was 24 hours to turn over.
That is a quick turnover.
That is really quick.
No psychics have called through, so I think it's probably because they don't want to tell you the truth. Because Mystic Jack thinks the rabbit has gone no-no.
No, you don't. No, you're not.
We'll be back after this.
No.
The Chrissie Swan Show. The Chrissie Swan Show.
This time yesterday, I was very emotional because I was talking about Chicago, my daughter's bunny, who I have fallen in love with. I love that bunny.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
She's magical. What happened? I'll give you a quick update. in case you missed it completely yesterday, my daughter Peg moves her bunny, Chicago, from where she sleeps into what we call the day spa, which is like an enclosed pen so she can have a stretch of her legs during the day.
Yes.
She does that every morning before school.
A bougie bunny. I'm no animal guy, but it's a gorgeous bunny. You've showed me several photos.
Not only is she pretty, she is charismatic. We are mad about Chicago.
Riz, if you will.
She's got Riz.
Mad Riz.
Mad Riz. Anyway, Peg did that, as she always does, went back to get Chicago's sister Gingy, returned to the day spa, and she was like, where's Chicago? There was a fault with the latch, and she had latched it, but it hadn't latched. Chicago escaped, and it is the first time that we have not been able to just get our eyes on this bunny. Peg had to go to school, and I mean, all hell broke loose. I was trying to be positive, but I was really worried because I thought, well, this bunny's gone. We're never going to see her again. And I have to, mother up and talk about grief and loss and all of that stuff with my daughter, and I just never wanted to go home. Wanted to join the witness protection program.
You did stay here quite late last night. I think I was home for like 15 minutes, and you were still here.
Oh, yeah, I was here till I stayed for an hour and a half after the show.
Wow, you were really
I wanted to avoid it.
off.
Anyway, after Peg had gone to school, I searched for 2 hours, every inch, every nook and cranny of the garden. Couldn't find the bunny, had to come into work. I texted Charlotte, our next door neighbour, and she got back to me later on in the afternoon to tell me, oh God, now I can't wait, to tell me that she'd looked for the bunny and couldn't find her. The guy that mows my lawns popped in, and I said to him, please keep your eye out for this bunny, and I sent a photo of Chicago.
Imagine if he just started cutting the grass and feathers were just flying everywhere.
Well, that would be odd because rabbits don't have feathers.
Fur. What do they have?
Yeah, they got fur, beautiful soft fur. Anyway, he texted me back, no, sorry, no bunny. And then the heartbreaking texts from my daughter while I was still on air, and she had finished school, and she's like, update, ? Do you think she'll eventually show up, Mum? I'm so scared. Tonight, can we both go through the front yard and the backyard? She could be anywhere, Mum. What if we don't find her, Mum?
Sorry, Dad, you laugh.
What if I never see her again, Mum? So I'm just like, oh my God, how do I answer this poor girl? Because the chances are, yes, the bunny has gone.
You in danger, girl.
You in danger, girl. Anyway, as I said, I was wanting to join the witness protection program, and I didn't want to go home and mother up. Eventually, I was getting my stuff together and my phone went off. 2 texts at the same time. One from my son, Kit, and one from my daughter. Kit's said, OMG, and Peg said, we found her.
What?
Yes. She was up in my podcast studio.
How did she get up there?
She's
the little
aspirational.
bugger?
She's aspirational. We screamed. My daughter was crying. By the time I got home, I was dancing around the backyard, holding that bunny, enjoying this song and singing it by Chicago. And if you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest. I was singing into that bunny's little face. Anyway, I've put a padlock on the hutch now.
I'm surprised the bunny didn't die from how hard you were all squeezing and hugging it.
She loves us too.
The photos I were receiving last night, that bunny's going to wish it had stayed away.
Listen, I should post the photograph of what my kids saw. So they were in the backyard. My podcast studio is up on a second level above the garage.
Yeah.
There's this little silhouette of a little black bunny behind the curtain, full view. She was just watching us from above going,
Enjoy your day of hell.
Yes, exactly.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
I think I need to talk about these bunnies.
Chicago and Gingy.
Chicago and Gingy. Gingy did start off with a different name, and it's been so long now, I can't remember what it was. Oh, Cara something. Anyway.
Cara?
Cara Milk or Cara...
Oh,
Caramello.
That feels a bit stupid.
No, it was Cinnabon.
Oh, Cinnabon, no, that also feels a bit stupid. You guys picked great names because Chicago and Gingy are great names.
Well, I did, yeah.
Was
Kid agrees with you, and Cinnabon was his rabbit, and he said, I can't even say the word.
I'm with you, Kit. How
I'm not
silly.
calling her that.
Nonsense.
So she became Gingy. She's massive, by the way.
Oh, she's a big girl.
Oh, my God, she's a big girl. She's sturdy. Very sturdy.
What about Kaggy? She's slim.
She's little.
Yeah.
So
A Kardashian true to her form.
here's the thing. I got these bunnies for the kids, and I did not expect to fall in love with them.
Yeah, you've lost your mind. You've given them a day spa. You think they're humans.
My camera roll is full of photographs of them and videos of them doing stuff like cleaning their little faces with their paws. Like, who am I recording that for?
It's also so not you. That's so off-brand for us.
And this is what I mean. It's really taken me by surprise.
So when you lost Chicago last week, it makes sense and tracks that you were properly beside yourself.
I was properly upset that I may never see that magnificent little bunny again. I am obsessed with their bottoms and their tails.
Okay, that's weird.
Just this morning, I pulled up a chair to where they live and talked. They're the first people I see every morning. I go downstairs, I talk to them. I've organised to have scraps delivered to me because I'm very time poor. I buy them corn on the cob with real money.
Are you an
because
award
I know they love it.
that you haven't told me about? Are you still at the compound or have you checked in somewhere?
I know
Because this feels like a program that they would potentially put on for people that are, getting some help.
It's very unusual. Yeah, I know. They're like, what do they call it? Emotional support bunnies. It gets worse because Peg, my daughter, is also obsessed. Every day we check in with each other to see what sort of day we're having, and we ask the question. I can't believe I'm admitting this. Who are you today? You Chicago or you Gingy?
Wow.
They've got very different personalities.
Is Chicago a vibe and Gingy's a bit more sad?
Gingy's cranky,
Yeah, okay.
but also delicious. Chicago is...
So like you on a salty day?
Yes.
Yeah, still delicious, but it's
a Gingy
cranky.
day.
Yeah.
But if you're cheeky or if you're having a bit of fun, you're Chicago.
Okay.
And even now, Peg blames things on Chicago. Like if she does something that annoys me, I go, Peg, she'll go, it wasn't me, it was Chicago.
Wow.
Like it's her alter ego.
She's also going to need some therapy if this continues into her teen years.
Well, I'm glad that I've got my obsession off my chest. But the latest thing is this. They are outdoor bunnies. I mean, bunnies are bunnies, right? Chicago is spending a lot of time in Peg's room. And
it's very trailer trash of you.
And I'm all for it. This is the
Swan,
thing.
no.
I know. They're very clean. And they're litter trained. How do they do that? She hops over to her litter. Anyway, the other day I heard Peg talking to someone in her room and I thought, she's on a WhatsApp group or whatever. That's all girls. All girls do is that they talk all through school and then they come home and they keep talking.
Just voice note each other nonstop.
Yeah. Anyway, I put my ear up. No, she's talking to Chicago. Her brother's in there too.
Wow.
Her brother's in her room. They've got Chicago on the bed. And I looked through the door. This is what it's come to. She's got a Sydney Swans AFL flag on the bed. She's got a Richmond Tigers AFL flag on the bed. And there's a little bunch of rocket on each of the flags.
Wow.
And she's gently saying to Chicago, I just want to find out which team you go for. So this is the situation.
I reckon in about a week you're going to come in and we're going to be talking about the fact that Peg's a furry now and has turned into a rabbit.
Oh my God, I did search how to buy a rabbit's tail.
Because that's the thing. No, don't encourage it.
Now check this out.
The Chrissie Swan Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.